Hello, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. I'm trying to put together a sympathy card. This is the first thing I come up with and I'm not 100% happy with it. I want these flowers to be somewhere else. It wasn't what I wanted. I got some inspiration from Pinterest, still couldn't get it right. I'm on my last piece of basic black cardstock, which is a bit depressing because I forgot to put it on my pre-order for the new catalogue. And it's late at night. It's gone 11 o'clock when I'm doing this, and really I should think about giving up, but I'm carrying on. And I think now I know what I want to do with my very, very last piece. That's all I've got. I don't even know what that measures. That might not actually be wide enough for what I want to do. And if that's the case, I might have to get out a bit of grey. Oh, it's a bit smaller than I wanted, but let's just press on. I'm not going to give up. So what do I need? Got a little piece of cardstock here. This is on the back. It's still not what I wanted. This is using the dry brush stamp set. It's a stamp and it's a beast of a stamp. It's huge. It goes on our largest block and it can make it a little bit cumbersome to use. But let me just show you how I use it. So I take the ink to the block. So here I'm using So Saffron. I wanted a nice muted colour, so I've gone for So Saffron because it is nice and it's not too bright. It's not a bright yellow. So you've got to kind of get it in your hand like that, and then with two hands turn it over. And then do your best to get it central. I'm going to be cutting a circle out of this in a minute anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Make sure that that has been distributed evenly. I've got a squeaky table. And then that's come out. I'm not worried that it hasn't gone all the way over to the sides because, like I said, I am going to cut that out. Let's put that to one side for now. I've got some clearing up to do tonight. Lots and lots of clearing up. I can't leave it before I go to bed. So I want a nice big circle. So I've got the layering circles here and I'm going to pick the biggest one. So I've got the biggest straight edge there. And I'm wondering if I want, but I don't think a scallop edge is going to work. Yeah, so let's just get that. So I'm just going to head over to my die cutting machine now and I'm just going to cut out a circle of that there. So there's my circle. You can tell it's late. I tried to die cut it with the die up that way round rather than that way round. So my card base, what have I done with that? Here it is. So that's my card base, and I'm going to create a border. It's going to be a big border with this basic black. So my card base measures 4 1/8 in width, and this is I'm going to have to trim that down to 3 5/8. So that's 1/2 inch smaller than the width. So what I'm going to do is then trim this, and if I get this wrong, I'm absolutely stuffed. Trim this down to 5 1/4. If I've got this wrong, I'm just giving up and I'm going to bed. This should be even all the way round, and it is. Thank heavens for that. So it's wider than I wanted, but it's my just last piece of basic black. That's all I've got. And then I want another layer of Whisper White. I've got scraps of white all over the place, but I don't think big enough for that. Yeah, I have. So that was 3 5/8. So I'm going to trim this down This is not the cleanest piece of card. So I'm going to trim this down to 3 5/8, 3 1/2, 3 3/8 actually. 3 3/8 by 5. Be a blog post for this with all the details. So, card base, black layer, white layer. So that just gives us 1/8 of an inch all the way around once I've stuck it down. Now I would have preferred that to be a bit bigger, but actually width-wise it wouldn't have fitted there. But that's what we're going to do with that. I want that to go there. And then what I'm going to do is stamp this onto there so it comes off the yellow and onto the yellow. I've also got to think about my sentiment. I do have a sentiment. And I think I want to make sure that that fits in the corner there. So I might need to raise this up a bit so that can fit there. And then for that to go on there, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. So I'm going to start with my sentiment. I've got my Stays On ink. So I want a nice jet black for this. This is going to sit right in this bottom corner. It's nice and straight for once, bearing in mind it's 11:15 at night. And then I need to stick this down. So I'm going to stick that down with liquid glue. I don't want it raised up or anything. And then I just want these brush strokes to be as horizontal as I can get them. Just let that dry off a little bit. Now I always think this is the scary bit. When you have put your card together and there's one last stamp to go on, and if it doesn't work, then it's ruined the whole card. So we're just going to go for this. It's late at night. Why am I crafting so late at night and YouTubing so late at night? Because I went to the dentist earlier and then I couldn't speak after I came back from that because my mouth was all numbed up. So I want that in there. Yeah, let's just, Donna, just do it. Just put the stamp down, Donna. Donna, stamp it. There, it's gone. And I just want to make sure that that's covered all of that. Whenever you've got a different layer on here, it's sometimes difficult for it to stamp. There we go, there it is. I'm pleased with that. Really pleased with that. That's just what I wanted. So let's just finish layering these up. I'm going to layer that on there. I don't know why, because it's late and I'm talking really quietly, but I don't know why, because there's nobody else in the house to disturb. My husband's pottering about. I think it's because it's late. Just get that lined up. And as I'm not doing any more stamping, I'm going to get that mat out of the way. Now I haven't put a sentiment in the middle because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put in the middle yet. I think for a sympathy card, that's just extremely personal. It just depends who's receiving it. So there's no sentiment going to go in the middle of that. Now we're going to get this in the right spot because there's quite a big border all the way around. Now we have it, quite a quick card, and that I think will be a technique that I might use again, but maybe for something a bit more cheerful. But using this like a circle or maybe a rectangle in the background and just stamp over it. But maybe next time I do this, using much more vibrant, brighter colours. But I think for the occasion, I think that's nicely muted. So I hope that's inspired you, made you think that even for sympathy cards, you can do something that still looks fitting for the occasion. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Come and subscribe if you want to come and see other videos. And I'll be back again soon with another project. See you then. Bye bye.